The F-22 tries to take down a TIE Fighter on today's episode of Star Wars Versus. Hey guys, this is Eckhart's Letter. Hello and welcome to another Star Wars Versus episode. Today we're putting the best modern air superiority aircraft against the TIE Fighter. Now, the F-22 Raptor has gone up in a previous episode against the X-Wing, and it lost, so this should be interesting because the TIE Fighter is certainly a step down from the T-65 X-Wing, almost like a previous generation starfighter. So I'll give a breakdown of each combatant, then at the end I'll compare the various features and decide a winner. Let's start with the Raptor. The F-22 is an air superiority stealth fighter used by the United States and, as I previously mentioned, the most advanced air combat fighter in the world. The Raptor is known for its combination of speed, maneuverability, stealth systems, and advanced onboard technology. The fighter can reach a cruising speed of nearly Mach 2, which is 2,470 kilometers per hour, which it can exceed by using its afterburners. Although these are incredible speeds, through advanced flight control systems, the fighter is able to maintain high maneuverability, even at supersonic speeds. Because of its low radar cross-section, the jet uses weapons which fold out of the plane itself. Depending on the mission objective, the loadout is variable. However, we'll assume that today's F-22 is geared out for air-to-air combat. Thus, the primary weapon, and the most important one for today's video, is the AIM-120C, or the AMRAAM. The AMRAAM, which is the main air-to-air weapon for several real-world fighters, can be fired from beyond visual range, travels at Mach 4, can lock onto targets through internal weapon systems, and can even counter modern jamming. It's what's known as a fire and forget weapon, as once launched, the missile requires no further control from the aircraft's pilot. A successful lock-on and launch, however, is not a guaranteed kill, especially when the weapon is fired from beyond visual range, and even real-life aircraft survive about 40% of the time. An F-22 geared for air-to-air combat would carry about half a dozen 120Cs, along with two shorter-range, IR-guided AIM-9 Sidewinder missiles, as well as a single autocannon. The F-22 is under 20 meters long and 15 wide, requires only a single pilot, and has extraordinarily advanced avionics, including radar and missile launch detectors, as well as an electronic warfare suite. Next up, we have the TIE LN, the standard TIE used by the Empire during the Galactic Civil War. The TIE was designed to be practical, efficient, cheap, and the frontline fighter for most situations. However, while TIEs could operate in atmosphere, they were primarily designed for space combat that does somewhat hinder the vessel in today's matchup. However, Star Wars space magic does somewhat account for this, so despite the fact that the TIE has, for example, no wings that look like those on a modern aircraft, it can still fly and maneuver in atmosphere. In atmosphere, the TIE can reach speeds of about 1,200 kilometers per hour. Unlike many starfighters, it does not make use of deflector shield technology. This not only leaves it pretty vulnerable to direct attack, but also, unlike the X-Wing, it can't generate a shield to create perfect aerodynamics. The TIE makes use of a pair of LS-1 laser cannons. These can fire rapidly, would probably devastate any real-world fighter in one shot, but unlike guided missiles, do need to be pointed at the enemy and will not track moving targets. Lasers, however, in Star Wars are quite fast and, as I mentioned, devastating. The TIE also made use of advanced avionics and sensor systems. I believe that these would counter the stealth measures of the F-22 quite effectively, which is why I didn't really go into that earlier. The TIE Fighter is smaller than the F-22, about 6 meters long and wide, although its wings give it somewhat of a large target profile. So let's do the comparison. We know that the F-22 is faster in atmosphere than the TIE, and I'm also going to argue that it is more maneuverable, or at least the aerodynamic design of the F-22 and the fact that it's flown in atmosphere means that it has a higher theoretical maximum maneuverability. However, the TIE Fighter and really all Star Wars ships have the advantage of incredible inertial dampeners. This means that pilots do not feel the G's associated with acceleration or crazy maneuvers. This will help the TIE Fighter quite a bit, especially when avoiding the AMRAAM missiles used by the F-22. However, the Raptor of course has some advantages. Its weapon systems are much more well suited for this type of fight. Fighters in Star Wars are really much closer to old World War II style planes than modern jets. So the Raptor's ability to attack the TIE Fighter outside of visual range is a huge advantage, as is the fact that its weapons can be guided without the pilot's assistance. I think this is the difference maker if both ships are piloted by someone of equal skill. The weapon system and the use of technology on the F-22 just offers such an advantage. The X-Wing was able to counter this because it was loaded with technology, including deflector shielding. The TIE Fighter, on the other hand, is a cheap craft meant to defeat opponents through sheer numbers. Now, I think a really skilled TIE pilot, one who made full use of a TIE Fighter's inertial dampeners and its propulsion systems and just the Star Wars space magic that the craft has available to it, could probably avoid any of the F-22's missiles and even score a killing blow with its lasers. But the jet is just faster, it's probably more maneuverable, and overall, I think it wins 8.5 times out of 10. That, however, is just my opinion. What do you think? Make sure to let me know down in the comment section, and also vote in the poll on the top right corner. Thanks again for tuning in. As always, this has been Eckhart's Ladder. May the Force be with you.